Well, as LifeFlight of Maine, the state's only air ambulance service, celebrates 25 years of caring for and transporting Mainers, their longtime CEO has announced he's stepping back. Thomas Judge is the founder and executive director of LifeFlight of Maine and the LifeFlight Foundation. He has served as an EMT and paramedic for over 40 years. Under his leadership, LifeFlight has received numerous awards for safety, innovation, and clinical excellence. Judge will continue to serve the organization in a supporting role as a project officer, transitioning into his role of chief executive officer starting in October is Joe Kellner. Kellner has been with LifeFlight in some capacity since 2009 and currently the chief financial officer for LifeFlight and the chief operating officer for Medcom. Judge says Kellner is ready to lead LifeFlight into the future given his 20-year career in emergency medical services.
All of us have, put our hands on patients, worked on Christmas, worked on New Year's, worked nights and weekends. That part that's our fabric. That's Joe's fabric.
LifeFlight's recognized for a reason, and everybody in the organization has a passion for excellence, a passion for quality. And I think that the people of Maine see that, and our team sees that, and it's truly an honor to be a part of that, albeit a small part.
Since 1998, LifeFlight has cared for more than 36,000 patients across Maine.